Welcome. My name is Sasha Moore, and I am here with Steve Lake, who is the Director of Partnerships at NLG. Nice to see you, Steve.
Thanks, Sasha. Nice to see you too.
So I know in addition to your current role at National Lending Group, you're also spearheading the highly successful accounting broking collaboration program. How's that going so far?
Yeah, really good. Good start to the year off the back of a really good 2022, and it's a lot of fun.
Okay. Well, I can expect that there's quite a lot of demand because, as we'll unpack, there's more and more opportunity within for the two industries to really collaborate. But before we sort of jump to that collaboration piece, I want to just raise some of the blocks that accountants have traditionally incurred with referral relationship partnerships and really wrap our head around what those blocks are, because then I think that provides a really nice segue and foundation piece to talk about why National Lending Group has structured the program in its current capacity.
I think it's a very important aspect to address. I would sort of start from maybe the smallest block to the biggest block. So finding the right broker to partner with that has actually got the skills and the attributes, the attitude and the confidence and the conscientiousness to really work with has been a difficult aspect. And we know that accountants generally get door knocked quite frequently from mortgage brokers looking to partner up with them. And it's very hard for the accountants to actually discern who's good and who's not. Oftentimes that is, Sasha, that they'll get a call or an email or even a pop-in from a mortgage broker. The general comments I get from accountants, I've had 5 come in the last month. They met with me once and I never heard from them again, presumably because they never walked away with a client. And it's like, well, tenacity is pretty important, but that's one of the blocks, I think, is just finding the right people to partner with. Another block that's really important is past experiences and experience of colleagues with the finance industry. I can tell you hand on heart, not all brokers are great. And so accountants, rightly so, need to be very careful with who they deal with and making sure that they have the competencies and the conscientiousness to be able to actually perform what they expect in terms of the outcomes and service to their clients. And there's some horror stories out there when you speak to accountants about how they've lost really good clients because they dealt with incompetent and unconscientious people, and it's a really big part. The next part, and this is a really interesting one, is the accountant's own mindset. It's something that I get a little bit baffled with and don't quite understand. But when you speak to a consumer or an accounting firm customer and you ask them about their accountants, the amount of trust, faith, respect, and likeness that they have, or likability that they have for their accountants is phenomenal. And a lot of accountants don't, because they're just so humble people, they don't actually realize how much their clients love them and trust them, and that their clients are actually waiting for them or really needing them, in fact, to help them through this journey. Because going back to point one, with the accountants having multiple mortgage brokers coming, not knowing who's competent, not knowing who's conscientious, the clients are facing the same thing. So if you think it's bad to find a mortgage broker to partner with, try being a customer and ending up with a bad mortgage broker, because you're going to end up with a terrible outcome. So my thing is that once an accountant grasps just how important they are to their customers and how much their customers really want help in all aspects of their finances, they're actually shocked at how many conversations they can generate and how many referrals they can generate. And then being able to, help with determining who is a good person, who's a good operator that I can trust with my customers. And that's probably the 3 bigger blocks I think that accountants face.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess they're understandable, and I do really like the methodology that NLG has applied to really do full market due diligence and research to then use that as the founding principles of then the program. So speaking of which, perhaps we can address how the program hits all of those blocks head on, and then what the corresponding benefits are.
Well, I guess we start with the mindset first, because that's probably the most important thing. We can't do anything without that. So it's really just engaging with accountants and breaking through a bit of a barrier, comfort zone barrier, probably more than anything. That involves a bit of training and some tools. So we do some role plays with our accountants on what question to ask, when to ask them, and how to ask them. And it's not, and it's a very soft approach because it's all about helping people. Okay. Whenever an accountant speaks to a client, generally they're doing something. Now, whether it could be as simple as paying tax, or it could be planning for an investment, or it could be selling a business, or whatever that may be. Generally, in that respect, there's some kind of finance that will go along with it. And so just sort of approaching that and saying, okay, well, you're looking to buy a new car. Okay, have you got financing under control for that? Have you organised the finance for that? Or are you happy with the finance that you have? Are you certain that it's the right sort of the right deal, the right approach, the right structure, etc.? You know, there's all a myriad of things that we talk to our accountants about to help them with that. And so, and then there's also tools as well. So each of our accountants, depending on the levels that they want to progress in, if they want to put a mortgage broker in, we help them, and we help them redo their website as well and all their marketing, and get marketing and emails out to the clients. If they want to do just a mere referral program, they actually get a web page now which they can refer their clients to, and that's a lead data capture form with downloads on different types of home loans and finance, etc. And then if they want to be mortgage brokers themselves, well, that's obviously the certificate for, and then there's a whole lot of mentoring, etc. So that's the first thing that we look for, that we try to help overcome that blockage. The next one is probably, you could roll those two blockages into one. So we've got 120 odd brokers here, Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, predominantly with National Lending Group, few in Perth and SA. Not all our brokers are equipped to work with accountants. Okay, so we are very picky with who we work with or who we allow to work with our accountants. And these brokers must be incredibly competent and conscientious, but they also have to be highly skilled in working with self-employed applicants. And also, more than anything, they have to be exceptional at their communication skills. So we want to make sure that as a referral partner or an accountant working with us, that you know exactly where all your clients are at any one time, and there's no mystery. They don't go missing. Our brokers don't go missing. There's always me if the broker doesn't get back to you. And we have that accountability chain in place. But the reality is, it's like anything in life. You know, your top 10% of performers are the ones that you want to deal with, and the same with our brokers. The top 10% is who we really try to work with. And we have a progression for our brokers to make sure that they go through certain stages before we allow them to work with our accounting friends. So it's really important that we have good control over that. And we also then specifically have brokers that niche in certain markets. So we've got commercial brokers that we only allow do commercial deals. We've got really good residential investment lenders, SMSF, asset equipment finance, business lending, the whole gamut. We've got specialists for each of those, because not to ask every broker to be proficient in every type of loan, you're talking maybe 0.5% of the industry, hand on heart, and that's just the way that is. So we have specialists, and it just makes it a lot easier and you just, at the end of the day, we end up with great outcomes for your customers. That's all that really matters.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thanks for unpacking that, Steve. I'll speak to you next time.
Thanks, Sasha.